is Mrs. Antwine, and I'm your child's exceptional education teacher. It's a pleasure to be a teacher here at Brighton School, as this is my 4th year, but it's my 5th year as an educator. I graduated from Stanford University in 2014, and I'm currently working on my master's at the University of South Alabama in special education. Come on in so I can explain some things that we'll be going through this school year for your child. Okay, I'd like to introduce some documents and behavior skills that you might need to be familiar with since you're a parent of a child who receives special education services. The first document is the invitation to a meeting. The next document is the profile page of an IEP. And then these two right here are just some behavior skills that you might possibly have to complete if your child is going through the reevaluation process. So let's begin with the invitation to a meeting. You'll notice that this document not only has a blank for your child's name, but it'll also have the place for the date for the meeting, the time of the meeting, and the location of the meeting. Next, it'll actually have a check mark beside the purpose of the meeting. So you might have one that's checked for that you need to determine initial or continued eligibility if your child is going through the reevaluation process. Or it might possibly say that you'll be a meeting to develop an initial or review or revise the current IEP, or if your child needs a behavior plan, we could also meet to conduct a functional behavioral assessment and to actually complete the behavior plan. The section over here will actually go through and introduce who will be invited to the meeting. Typically, meetings for special education students involve a local education agency representative, which is typically a school counselor or a principal, someone who can interpret the instructional implications of the evaluation results, which will typically be either the psychometrist or the special education teacher, the general education teacher, the special education teacher, and you, the parent. Now, your role for this form will actually be to tell us if you will be able to attend the meeting, which will be the first box. If you can't attend the meeting at that time, but you'd like to have it rescheduled, which is the second box, or the third box where you say that you will not be able to meet with us, but we can hold the meeting without you. So after you check one of those 3 boxes, you will sign with your signature and you will date it and send it back to the school by your child. The next document I'd like to introduce is the profile page of the IEP. Again, an IEP is an individualized education program. It's the document that all students who receive special education services have that outlines their needs, their strengths, and their goals for the upcoming school year. So the first section that you'll actually go through during the IEP process is the strengths of your child. The next section is where you can actually express what you're concerned about for your child. We'll also discuss your child's preferences and interests, and we'll also review the results of the most recent evaluations, which this can be scores that you'll talk about for their reading goal, their math goal, their language goal, or even in the area of behavior. The next section is where we'll go into detail about their academic, developmental, and functional needs. And then you can also go in this other section and describe any other concerns or issues that you may have noticed that was not addressed in one of these areas above. So we've talked about the invitation to the meeting. We've talked about the profile page to the IEP. Now let's talk about these last 2 documents, which are behavior skills. If your child is going through the reevaluation process, you might be asked to complete an adaptive behavior skill or a behavior skill that mainly focuses on executive functioning. This is for children who typically have ADHD-like tendencies, and this is typically for all students to make sure that they're able to conduct themselves within society in an independent way. So you would just complete the profile section of it on the front and answer the questions accordingly. We ask that you answer every question, even if you have to guess. There's a column for that as well. So I hope that this video will help you be able to feel more acquainted with some of the important documents that we typically use for students who receive special education services. I look forward to working with you throughout this school year. If you have any questions, you can email me at mantwine@jeffcoed.com, or you can call the school at 205-379-2650. Thank you so much for viewing this video, and I look forward to collaborating with you in the future. Bye.